Hi everybody, and hope you're well. So you will have to bear with me because I am using some new technology to stream into the group and other areas of my social media. So just bear with me so I can make sure that I am going live, because this is going live in the group, on the business page and YouTube. So I'm just getting used to everything. If you do have any questions or anything, please do let me know. And I'm more than happy to answer those for you as we go along. So I'm a little bit, I do lives all the time, but I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone. One, because I've had a couple of months off during while the kids were off before they went back to school. So it's just kind of getting back into it. So I'm going to be doing regular lives again each week where I'll be sharing social media top tips to help you maximize your social media. So if you do have any questions as we go along, then please do pop them in the comments. And I'm hoping the system that I'm using, the software, will actually bring them up so I can see. If it is a case that I miss your question, it isn't because I'm ignoring you. It's literally because it's not doing what I thought it was going to do. And I will come back to you at a later date because hopefully I will see them from there. So hopefully you can all see this now. We are going live. So I'm using a platform called StreamYard. So during lockdown, I had a few people that did interviews with myself and they used it. And I thought, you know what, it's a really, really good idea. You can tailor make it to your branding, your logos. So I've been having a play around with it today, and this is the first time I've actually used it. So there's a bit of tweaking that I need to do with reference to sorting out the banners and the branding and the logo, because the logo's not showing up too well. So I need to just adapt a couple of things, but fingers crossed for next week, we'll be all okay. But the thing is, if you don't start doing things or try things, you just won't get to know what's going on. So let's get started. So I'm Samantha Cameron. For those that don't know me, I'm a social media expert. And I'm going to just share some really, really simple social media tips that will help you just make those fine tweaks to your social media that will actually help you increase your social media presence. And these are things that you can just implement really, really simply, whether it be daily or whether it be baby steps, and you kind of think, right, okay, I'm just going to do this couple of times this week and then increase it on a week-to-week basis. So one of the things that I always say now, I just want to backtrack just a little bit, because social media has been so different over the last 6 months due to COVID-19 and the lockdown, and there's been more online. And we are more online now than what we were 6 months ago, but we also have to remember that we can get complacent. And social media is so busy. We've got one person telling us to do this, one person to do that, and then you kind of scream and go, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. What is the best way to do everything? And it's finding what works for you and what you're happy with. So I always say to people, think about what platforms you want to use. And it might not be the platforms that you think your audience will be on, and start building those into your social media content and availability, and think about where you want to go with those. So it might be that you're on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook and Twitter. Now that's quite daunting and overwhelming, because you then need to think to yourself, okay, how many social media posts do I need to create if I'm going to be on all those 4 platforms? And just keep it simple. Just create one post per day and share that across all of your platforms. So you're just making life really, really easy for yourself, but just adapt each post for wherever it's going to go. So if you're using Facebook, then you can, just bear with me a sec. I'm just making sure everything is working. So if you're using Facebook, then you can put your post on your business page, and then you can put the same post on your personal timeline at a later time in the day. And that's a really good thing to do at the moment, because as you may have noticed, if you do have a business page, hi Julia, yes, the comments are coming through, fantastic, this is working. Just a few, I'm writing notes down of all the little tweaks that I need to make for the next one, but I'm liking how this is going. So if you are on Facebook and you've put a post on your business page at say 10 o'clock in the morning, you might decide you want to then put it onto your personal timeline. Now, business page activity and engagement is way down at the moment, and it's a nightmare. Hi, Hannah. And there are many reasons for that. The main one is that Facebook have just kind of done the big change, big development. We've all got a new Facebook. Most of us all hate it. It's just about getting used to it. But it has meant that things are out of sync a little bit. So hopefully when that settles down 2 or 3 weeks, our engagement on our business pages will increase. But don't let that scare you off Facebook. My advice is use your personal timeline. Use your personal timeline as if it is your business page, because people buy people, and you need to be telling people what it is that you do, the services that you offer and the products that they offer, and also you as a person and your lifestyle, because they need to see you, because at the end of the day, you've got a better chance of somebody actually signing up to use your services or buy your product if they start to trust you and buy you as a person. And they can do that through your personal Facebook, because it is personal. So rather than sharing from our Facebook business page to our personal timeline, I want you to stop that now. What I want you to do is just literally copy the wording from your business page, tweak it so it's a little bit more personal to go on your Facebook. If you've used an image, then take the image, save it if it isn't already saved on your camera roll or your desktop, and use that image as well. But just share it at a different time. So you might think 10 o'clock on your business page and 2 o'clock in the afternoon on your personal timeline. Then you might think to yourself, okay, I'm going to give LinkedIn a go. You might be on LinkedIn already, or you might think to yourself, actually, I just need to get back on LinkedIn. And again, you can just do exactly the same. Use the same post, put it on LinkedIn. If you want to put the image on, you can, but all you're doing now is you're adding 3 hashtags. So it's 3 hashtags that we use on LinkedIn, and those hashtags are relevant to the post or possibly your target audience. And have a look at hashtags on LinkedIn and how they work. When you use them more, you'll start to understand which hashtags will work for you and which ones are going to help you get your exposure. They work in exactly the same way on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has its own hashtag community, so you can follow hashtags on LinkedIn and your post will go into that kind of following so people can see. Then if you're going to put it on Instagram, just remember that Instagram is all about the images. So make sure the image is spot on and people are going to see it. Images with you in and your face in are going to get more exposure than images that are stock images. Okay, so don't be afraid to take those selfies, use pictures of yourself or bring you into your photographs, because they will have more engagement than a stock image. With Instagram, you're adding more hashtags. You've got up to 30 that you can use. You don't have to use all 30. Instagram actually do recommend you just using between 5 and 10. But if you are going to use all 30, please don't write them all out, copy and paste them, put them in the notes or a save section on your computer or your phone, and keep copy and pasting them and using the same ones over and over again. Because what that is going to do, that is going to see you as being spammy, and Instagram will pick up on that, and that's going to affect your engagement and your reach. So make sure that you're using hashtags that are relevant to you, the post, your industry, and don't forget to add your own hashtag in as well. So mine is keeping social simple. But again, if you can't think of 30, don't stress yourself out about it. Just start building it up. You might think to yourself, right, this week I'll use 5, next I'll start with 10, then move on to 15 and just build it up from there. And then what you can do is you can build a library of hashtags that you like and that you find and that you think your audience are following. Save them so you have a reminder of ones that you can use all the time. Just use it as a reference point that you can keep going back. Yes, exactly, definitely. Julia is fantastic at taking photographs for social media. just on your mobile phone. And there's so many things that you can do. And when you do start using photographs of yourself and your day-to-day activities in your social media, you start to think about it a little bit more. I spoke to a client at the weekend and we were just having a chat about what we were doing. And she said, oh, I must remember to take a photograph while I'm out. And I joked and said, oh, this social media malarkey, it's quite time consuming, but you get into a habit of thinking, oh, that would be a good photo, or I'll take a photograph of that. Or you start doing something and think, this is a great opportunity for my social media. And by actually taking photographs and storing them in your camera roll, when you go to plan your social media, whether it be week to week or month to month, you can go and have a look in your camera roll and look through your photographs and see which ones that you can use within your social media content. But don't forget that you can recycle your social media as well. And also, if you took a photograph last week, don't be afraid to use it next week, because people don't need to know when you took photographs. And if you're using photographs over and over again, I'm not saying day in, day out, but like leaving weeks or a month, that's fine as well. If a good photo gets you good interaction engagement, then use it. So, and then if you're going on to Twitter, you can use the same post, but you might find that you need to condense it slightly. But Twitter's very straight to the point, and you're not going into waffling and everything. Just literally get in, get out, and get your tweet on there, because you've only got 280 characters, so you're going to have to really condense it down. And again, unless the image is actually going with the wording, you don't need to use images on Twitter. So you can just put a tweet, a link to somewhere, and then just 3 hashtags on Twitter. So that just kind of gives you an idea of keeping it really, really simple. Now, when it comes to images, it's a really good idea to kind of have your images, if you want to build kind of like a brand, especially if you do have colors within your logo. Most of us will have anything from 2 to 4 colors in our logos. So find out what your hex colors are. If you don't know what a hex color is, speak to the person that designed the logo for you and ask them for the color codes that they use to create your color branding. You should ideally have been given a big pack that has all of that information on when they designed it for you. But in the meantime, if you just contact them, they will give you that hex code. A hex code is a hashtag, and then it's normally 6 characters, so letters and numbers, and then that's how you can find your color brands. So places like Canva, this site that I'm using now, this StreamYard, if I put my codes in, it brings up my color branding, which you can see below. My name is in my color branding, which is my fuchsia. And then if you look, it's that side, just remembering where everything is also the teal blue as well. But I also have black, and I also have white in my branding colors. So make sure you know what these are, because when you want to go and create images, it's great for business pages and especially Instagram to bring those colors out, because people will start to recognize you as your social brand being your colors. So make sure you bring these through also. And don't forget that when you are using your hashtags, think about what hashtags you're going to use and where you're actually going to put them. Now, one thing I will say about sharing your social media posts is don't share from Instagram to Facebook. The reason for that, it will affect your reach on Facebook. I know it's really frustrating because there's that little button that says, would you like to share to Facebook? Yes, please. Don't do it. Be tempted not to do it. If you really want, if you don't have the time, take the wording from your Instagram post, highlight it, copy it, go to your Facebook, put the post in, use the image, take out the hashtags, and literally just put it in your Facebook personal or your business page as an organic post. Okay, don't share from Instagram, and you'll see an engagement. I speak to so many people that tell me that they do this, they share from Instagram to Facebook and wonder why they don't get any interaction or any engagement, and that's basically why. So just if you are doing that and you're wondering why you're not getting as much engagement, actually have a play around with actually putting the post on directly to Facebook and see what happens, see those changes, and see people commenting and interacting with what you're doing. So one of the last things that I want to kind of talk to you about is when you're posting and what you should be and how often you should be posting. So ideally, you want to be posting at least once a day. If you can do 2 posts a day, fantastic, but once is perfect. If you are posting more than once a day, for LinkedIn, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook, leave a 4-hour gap, okay, in between your posts, because that way you'll help your posts actually get engagement, interaction. And if somebody actually then engages with your posts with comments, then reply back. Okay, by replying back, you're helping that engagement and that reach with your post as well. If you tweet and you're on Twitter a lot, you can actually tweet every 18 minutes, and you can tweet up to 50 times a day. If you can do that, you've got way too much time on your hands. But I do know people that are on Twitter and they are literally tweeting every single minute of the day. So, you know, if you want to go ahead and try it for a week just to see if you can actually cope with that many tweets, you might find that Twitter just becomes the only platform that you use, because to be fair, it is the only platform that that person or those people are actually using, hence why they have the time to do it. So social media does take time, but the time is definitely worth it. It takes 21 days to create a habit. And if you actually work at your social media for 3 months, day in, day out, over 3 months, you'll actually start to see a massive difference. And so many people that I coach and I train with their social media, you know, it's all about baby steps and building it up to that 3 months, whichever way we work it. And the great thing is they actually then start to see results. If it's not 3 months, it's actually sooner, because they're doing everything that you need to implement to have a great social media presence. So if you do have any questions or you want to find out more, you can head over to my website where you can find out about all my trainings, all my workshops. If you want to download my free social media content planner, you can do that all there as well. So head over to samanthacameronsocial.co.uk. Have a great day, everyone, and catch you later. Bye.